Welcome to the Group Finance Knowledge Sharing Sessions. This is a chance for you to upskill your technical knowledge or just refresh some of your old skills. So what are we going to cover in the knowledge sharing sessions? We're going to cover things like Excel, SAP, PowerPoint, presentations, and more importantly, skills you guys want to learn. So we'll take your feedback and turn those into courses. But before we get started, what is Group Finance Transformation? So it's an ongoing project at the moment to make Group Finance work more efficiently. Some of our projects are transforming finance reporting and finance optimization. We're also responsible for the Power Hour and now the knowledge sharing sessions. So how are the knowledge sessions going to work? Well, we'll start off and I'll explain a topic and we'll watch a video of a solution to a problem. We'll then move on to an extension for you to try out a further example in the workbook that accompanies these videos. And then I'll show you an extension of those topics of something that mightn't be so intuitive and will hopefully improve your workday. So for our first topic today, we're going to do fill series. So as you know, if you've got a few numbers and drag down, Excel knows how to continue the list. But if you don't already have a sequence, Excel doesn't know what to do. So as you see here in the video, if we drag down 1 and 2 all the way down to 10, Excel knows to fill the list. But when we move to just drag down 1, we're just going to get a list of 1s. But wouldn't it be great if we could start with 1 and actually get the sequence that we want? So again, now if we drag down to 10, right click on autofill and say fill series, Excel will do it 1 to 10 for us. So now, this is your chance to work along in the workbook that accompanies these videos, and we're going to do weekdays, months and years. And it works in the same sequence. So now, if you go to tab 2 and follow these instructions, pause the video and we'll go from there. Okay guys, so you have tried that example. Let's just look at the solution so we're all on the same page. So as you can see, if you grab the date and you drag that down, it gives you dates in a row. But what if you only want weekdays? Of course, you drag down, right click, and then Excel gives you the option of selecting weekdays. Similarly now, this is going to work for months. So you drag down months, right click the autofill handle, and you can select months. And then finally, we're going to move on to years. So this works the same way. So this type of stuff is very handy when you're setting up spreadsheets and save you a bit of manual effort in typing out years, months, etc. So the final part of fill series is fill series by a custom list. Now this isn't necessarily something intuitively that you could find in Excel. So how do we enter a custom list? First we go to the File tab, then we go to Options, and then we go to Advanced Options, and in the depths of that list is you can add a custom list. So you can see here in the video, we're going to scroll down to the very bottom. We've got Edit Custom Lists, and we're going to get a new dialog box. So from there, you select the data you want to bring in from your spreadsheet, and here we're going to use product subcategories. So we've highlighted our data. It's going to go OK, Import, and we escape out of the options box. So our list starts off with COLA CSDs. We're going to drag that down and that will populate like the list in column A. Now it's your turn to have a go in your workbook on tab 3. So now we're going to look at sort by color. So quite often if I was reconciling some entries, I might match off the different numbers that I don't want to see anymore and just leave me with the unmatched transactions. So we could color some cells and then sort that list to give me the colored cells up the top or indeed the bottom. So as we see here in the video, I've got 2 cells that are highlighted in red and I want to sort those to the top. So we go to Sort and Filter, Custom Sort, and we're going to add a layer, and on that, instead of sort by values, we're going to sort by cell color. And then we're going to select the color that we want to sort by. This is for if you had multiple colors, of course. and we'll go OK. And as you can see, the list now is sorted with the cells in red up at the top. So next, we're going to have the interactive part of this for you guys to sort by font. So we're going to add another layer of sort beyond the cell color to do it by font color. So now it's your turn on tab 5 in the workbook to have a go. So now, so we'll all be on the same page with sort by font, let's look at the video. You can see now we're going to highlight all our data again. And we're going to go to sort and filter, back to custom sort. I'm going to add a layer. Once again, we're going to go back to what are we going to sort on, and this time it's going to be sort by font. Then of course we want to check what color we want to sort by. In this case there is only one to sort by font, but you could have multiple. And we'll go OK. And now as you can see, the cells with the font red are below the cells that background fill with red. And that's how we sort by font. So now we're going to move on to custom sort, something that you wouldn't intuitively find in Excel. So this builds on our imported list from the fill series video. So if you haven't done that, please go back and import that list. So now let's look at the video of how we will do a custom sort. So we highlight our data, and again we go back to sort and filter. We go to custom sort, and the trick here is instead of sorting by A to Z or Z to A, we're going to go to the last option in that drop down of custom list. Here you will see our list of products, and we select that, OK and exit, OK again, and now our list will be sorted. So now our list isn't sorted exactly how it is in the other column. So now it's your turn on tab 6 of the workbook to have a go at this. So now let's move on to subtotal versus sum. And where would you use subtotal? So it's often used in presentation layers. So instead of having to go one cell plus another, plus another, plus another, subtotal, if you subtotal everything in a column, it will pick up all the numbers excluding the other sums you have there to, let's say, break up a category. So let's look at the video and watch how this works. So as you can see, we're going to sum our list here the ordinary way. And now we're going to move on to subtotal. So the difference here is you can see you put in a 9. So that's instructing subtotal to use sum, where you can also use average and different things that appear. And we're going to sum that same list and we'll get the same answer. But the nifty thing with subtotal is we're going to filter by New South Wales now, right? And we're going to have two different answers. Sum will give you the existing answer even though you can't see the data. Subtotal only sums the data that is visible, and that's the strength. So now we're going to take off our filter and it's back to the same answer. So let's have a look at that again using the branch. We're just going to filter on Asahi. Our options, our sum will change. And as you can see, the subtotal one is dynamic where sum is not. So now it's your turn to have a go at subtotals on tab 7. So next we're going to move on to subtotals, but this time using average. So instead of typing subtotal 9, we'll type subtotal 1. So that's your turn now on tab 8, and we'll come back and watch the video solution. So now let's look at the solution to subtotal by average. So once again we'll put in average the normal way and highlight our data. And we'll move on and use subtotal typing 1. So the real benefit of this is for quick and dirty analysis. You can highlight different totals, different averages depending on states and brand, etc. And in a moment now we will look at New South Wales again. So we've highlighted our data. Now let's move up, filter, and we'll see how dynamic subtotal is. As you can see now, we've got two different answers, and that's the solution. So the last part of subtotal is subtotal automatically. So now in this video we'll see if we highlight our data, Excel will do the hard work for us and put in the subtotals that we need. So it gives you the options of what you want to subtotal by and what you want to count. So here we're going to do by state and volume, and now as you see we have all the totals for our states. Once more we'll filter by New South Wales, and you'll see our main subtotal will just add up what is actually visible to us. So this is great for doing quick and dirty analysis again. We'll take off our filter. Now we'll filter by Asahi. And as you can see, subtotal will just pick up what's visible. So subtotal essentially works that it picks up all your figures that aren't sums already. So we'll see now, we'll go down to the actual formula and we'll see that it is actually across the whole column. Now, as easily as we made the totals appear, we'll make them disappear. So re-highlight the data, go back to subtotal, and you'll see there's a button to remove all. Select that and it's back to where we started. So now on tab 9, it's your turn to follow the steps on screen. So finally we've got Go To Special, my favorite thing in Excel. So let's say you have a spreadsheet and you've got a check and it's out, and you're thinking perhaps some of the totals or some of the formulas have been overwritten. So how are we going to find the constants in an easy fashion? So you can see in the video now we see my little check, we're out by $100. Where are the problems? So we're going to highlight the sums and then we're going to find which are the formulas and which are the constants. So we highlight the data, press F5, we get the Go To box. We'll press the special button and now we're going to get a new set of options. So now we're going to press constants. We'll OK out of that and you'll see we're just left with 2 cells that are the constants in the list. So I've made them yellow, and as you can see that's a constant, where the cell beside it is a formula. So now let's move on to the interactive version. So we want to do a similar exercise here, but this time we're going to find the formulas. So perhaps you've gotten a spreadsheet and you want to know what figures are being driven from formulas and perhaps being driven from other spreadsheets. So it's your turn on tab 11 to highlight the data and use F5 Go To Special to find the formulas in the spreadsheet. We'll come back in a moment and look at the solution. So now let's look at the solution. We highlight the data, press F5, back to the Go To box, press the special button, click formulas. So there are different variations of what formulas you can find, but today we're just going to be looking at formulas as a whole. We'll press OK, I'll highlight in yellow again, and we can see in the spreadsheet what are actual formulas. So the last part of Go To Special is Go To Special Fill Formulas. This is by far my favorite thing in Excel. So as you can see here, we've got our set of data with states again, but we're missing some of the data, so each state needs to be dragged down a bit. So you could do it with a fill handle, you could do it manually, but imagine if you have 20,000 rows, you don't want to do that. But there is a solution using Go To Special. So let's watch the video. So we're going to highlight all the cells where we want to fill, and we're going to find the blank cells. So back to F5, back to Go To Special, and our box is going to reappear again. Select the blanks. And what essentially we want to do is we want to fill the empty boxes with what is above. So here you can see equals A2, and the special bit is press Control Enter, and voila, everything has been filled with what's above. So from this point you'd probably do a copy, paste special values, and then the data is static. So now on tab 12, it's your turn to go. So that brings us to the end of our first knowledge sharing session with Excel. So what are we going to learn in the next few sessions from now until Christmas? We're going to look at data auditing and formulas, pivot tables, data visualization, VBA macros. But importantly, if you guys want to learn anything, please email me and let me know the topics that you want to cover. Thanks very much.